Elephants are the largest land mammals alive today. Their beauty and grandeur epitomize the spirit of Africa. They used to roam the continent south of the Sahara wherever there was sufficient food and water. In 1981, there were approximately 1.3 million elephants, but because of massive poaching and the encroachment of the human population, by 1986 the population fell to about 600,000 elephants. In some areas of the East and Central Africa, the losses totaled 80%. Today, only about 470,000 to 690,000 elephants remain on the continent. In 2001, author and environmentalist Gareth Patterson, well known for his fight for the greater protection of the African lion, turned his attention to the Knysna elephants in order to learn the truth about their current status. In the southern Cape of Africa, elephants were affected in a similar way historically. An estimated 10,000 elephants once inhabited the Cape prior to the arrival of the European settlers in 1650. From 1876, heavy ivory hunting took place in the Knysna area, and by 1908 only 20 to 30 elephants remained from an estimated population of 400 to 500. By 1970 the herd was reduced to 11, and in 1994 it was thought that there was only one Knysna elephant remaining, an elderly female. Forester Johan Hosseman of the Department of Affairs and Forestry photographed the matriarch. Interest in the Knysna elephants developed in 1984 after the publication of Circles in a Forest by Delaney Mathey. Set in the 1880s, the historical novel shared the tale of one man's fight to save the last Knysna elephants and the great forest in which they roamed. Gareth moved to Knysna on the coast of South Africa and conducts his research from a tiny cabin on the edge of the forest. Walking thousands of miles on foot for the past 7 years, he has made a series of remarkable discoveries about these mysterious elephants.
So back in 1999, for about 5 years prior to that, it was thought there was just one old elephant representing the world's most southerly elephants. The matriarch, her name was. And but as you can see, I mean, this magnificent, massive area, who really knew what was going on? And so the more I delved into the situation here, I saw that there was evidence that there was in fact young adult elephants here, which were previously totally unknown. And so in the field, like here, I was finding evidence that no, it's a surviving population. And then thank goodness to technology and teaming up with my colleague Laurie Eggert in the States, she's a conservation geneticist, that we managed to do DNA work here, which actually proved that we've got at least 5 young female elephants which are part of this population here. And these elephants have really brought themselves back from the brink of extinction. No thanks to mankind, not because of any conservation measures. They did it by themselves. They're right on the brink, right on the edge, and they came back by themselves. Okay, so here we are right at the start of the indigenous forest here, about 600 square kilometers of, you can call it rainforest, right at the southern tip of Africa here, in the southern Cape. And you can say that this is the heartland of the main movement area, the range area of the Knysna elephants.
While in the forest, Gareth has identified signs of the elephant's presence.
Yeah, this is one of the main pathways of the elephants, and when a musk bull comes by, the sign gets taken out fairly regularly, say every 3-4 months or so. And you can actually see where the tusks have actually gone through this sign here at the top, and they scratch it out, and then the park's people have to straighten it out and put it back up again. But there you go, that's where the tusks have gone through.
10 years after the photo of the matriarch was taken, Wilfred Ori of Sam Park's Forest Guard documented another sighting. Wilfred has been monitoring the elephant's movements for years and believes this elephant is a female. Wilfred and Gareth named the elephant Strangefoot because of her unusual footprints. 2 of the photos taken of the elephants were by Hilton Hurd of Sand Parks. Hilton photographed what may be a female in the thick indigenous forest in February 2007. At the end of June, Hilton took another photograph of a beautiful young female. Unlike the first photo, this elephant is not in the forest, but in Mountain Feignbos. In the past, it was believed that the elephants were restricted to the forest, but Gareth has seen more evidence of them outside of the forest than within. These are elephants of forest and fynbos. Their range is much larger than previously thought.
Magnificent old yellowwood, probably between about 600 and 800 years old. This is right in the very dense part of the indigenous forest. There's a popular perception that these are forest elephants and they're confined to the forest, but that's really a myth. Since been doing the work here, we discovered that these Knysna elephants, they spend as much time out in the mountains, in the mountain fynbos areas, as what they do going through the forest. So they've actually got a far bigger range than what people think. And they're not forest elephants as such. These are typical savanna elephants, which have adapted to this sort of environment and to the mountains and everything.
Elephants drink 60 gallons of water a day, 26 gallons at a time, and the Gona River, which flows through the forest, provides a constant water supply.
Okay. Gona River, which comes down from the mountainsides which are behind us there, runs right the way through the central forest. Color of this water, that's natural. It's almost like tea, and that's because the amount of tannin that leaches from the leaf litter on the forest floor and into the water system. And eventually this leads not that far, a matter of about 15 kilometers, into the Knysna Lagoon and then into the Indian Ocean. You can't believe you're so close to the ocean when you're looking at this scene here.
Elephants eat 330 pounds of food a day, and the forest and mountain fynbos provide plenty of foliage. But some other findings about what the elephants eat have been surprising.
So it was during the work with the elephants that we made this very unusual discovery. This is a bracket fungi known as Ganoderma aplomatum, and it's known for its medicinal properties, being used in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine for about 5,000–6,000 years. It's renowned for its immune boosting properties, and today recent research is proving that it's got anti-cancer, antiviral, all sorts of things. In fact, recent trials with people with HIV/AIDS are showing progress through utilizing Ganoderma. And then the strange thing was that I discovered that the elephants eat it routinely on a regular basis. In fact, more than 50% of all the diet analysis I've done with these elephants show that they're eating this Ganoderma. Then I contacted elephant experts all over Africa, as well as in Asia, to see if they've also recorded elephants eating Ganoderma. And it's never been recorded anywhere else in the world, actually, in Asia or Africa, for elephants to eat this very special, very important medicinal bracket fungi mushroom.
Elephants, who walk at a rate of 3.7 to 5 miles per hour, create trails that have some modern applications.
One of the original elephant markers, all these roads through the forest are originally elephant trails, but when they set up trails for people to move through the forest, go hiking and see everything, they painted these on rocks and stuff to let people know they're on the right track. This would have been painted back in the early 70s, I'd imagine. Most people walk past it, they don't see it. The moss is taking over and everything, but there's the elephant there.
Although you may not see the elephants, because they tread quietly, they could be right behind the dense vegetation. While Gareth walks through the forest, he will occasionally stop and call to reassure the elephants.
It's basically almost like a reassurance rumble, if there are any elephants in the area. Just let them know that this one Homo sapien which is not going to cause any problems for them. That deep, deep rumble.
Gareth's long years of research have provided us with new insight about these elephants.
So this was a very important area because this was the exact spot actually in 1999 when I first ever came to, 1999, first came to the Knysna forest. When it was thought that there was just one elephant left, representing the last of the southernmost elephants in the world, the matriarch, the old lady. And I just thought, no, it can't be. We're not going to see the extinction of this endangered population within my lifetime. They're going to be no more. And I thought, and I looked at this spot, and I looked behind me here at this vast area, and I thought, no, we've got to look into this and see what's really going on. And fortunately, it's been a very good news story in the sense that went out there into the field and we discovered that no, it's not the end for these elephants, and that there are others out there, and breeding has taken place, and so they're hanging in there and they're still existing, which is fantastic. And I actually worked out through the DNA work and the field work that actually what we got here is a population of young adult elephants. So they really are quite remarkable, and they're existing not only in the forest. In the past it was perceived that they're confined to the forest. That's a myth. They're out in this beautiful feinboss areas in the mountains, and they cover a large area. I mean, their range here is well over 500 square kilometers of land minimum that they're traversing over, this population of Knysna elephants. Yeah.
The Knysna elephants are the only elephants in an unfenced area in South Africa, and Gareth supports the Eden to Addo Corridor Initiative that would provide wide corridors between the Eden District and the Greater Addo Elephant National Park, so the elephants could roam and mix with new herds one day in the future. Additionally, much of the range of the Knysna elephants is about to be incorporated into South Africa's youngest national park, the Garden Route National Park. It is not too late to save the elephants of Africa, and through Gareth and Laurie's research, hopefully the Knysna elephants will not only survive, but thrive.